Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh to my lecturer, Dr. Fauzi. So my name is Mohd Zulhilmi by Zulkifli, and I will present about the mini project of MEM 603. So my internships company is at First Solar Malaysia. So the objective of this project is to investigate the implementation of OSH within the selected company. So my company background is located in Kedah, and it consists of about 4,000 employees. So the facilities for occupational safety and health. So any worker at construction is entitled to welfare. Welfare is very fundamental as we have to avoid a variety of workplace disease such as hepatitis A, cholera, and dermatitis. So facilities for OSHA that exist on site is first is toilets, washing facilities, drinking water, changing rooms and lockers, facilities for rest, and also a smoking area for the employees. So next is relevant act and regulation. First is occupational safety and health noise exposure, and then also factory and machinery, also noise exposure regulation 1989. So next is for facilities prevention hazard. So first we need to identify control options, select controls, develop and update a hazard control plan, and then select control to protect the workers during routine operation and emergencies. And then is implement the selected control in workplace, and then to follow up to confirm that controls are effective or not. Then is for PPE, personal protective equipment such as helmet, safety, glass, earplug, and so on. And then we move to maintenance program and communication tool available. First, we need to know the 12 component of successful reliability control. Then to create a repair schedule. Next, develop the operating procedures, and then using a popular incentive schemes to push outcomes, and then build a strong relationship with operation. Next, we move to part B, which is type of hazard that may occur and how to avoid the hazard. So what is hazard? Hazard is a possible damage, harm, or adverse effect to someone that or something at work under such condition. So we have several type of hazard, which is chemical, ergonomic, psychological, physical, and biological hazard. So this is the example how to avoid a chemical hazard. First, we need to handle the chemical solutions, and then we need to find the possible accident such as breathless that will lead to faint or death, and then we need to prevent the accident such as make sure they are not leaking chemical before transferring it, and then tool and equipment is also necessary such as e-stop button will be pushed if any accident happen, and then next we need to know the consequences whether if there any case safety and health practice have been used for this emergency action. So there are more ways to prevent the emergencies of different hazards. So next we move to part C, which is the procedures and activities need to be carried out in the event of an accident has occurred. So the roles of employers. First, they need to track the condition in the workplace, and then employers also must provide health and safety information to their staff, and then also they need to keep the information and record of their employee. So the role of employees is to meet all the policies and procedures of the company. Next is to report all hazardous if it occurs related to work, and then they need to also cooperate with any inquiry into an incident or incidents. So for example, case one, which is machine related injuries. So first we need to start the machine instantly, of course, make certain that the risk of entanglement are eliminated already. So we need to take out the person out of the machine to a safe location, and then checks for any wounds. Then we need to check whether first aid is appropriate for the treatment or not. And then you need to call a 911 immediately if it get any worse, and then lastly you need to report the incident to supervisor in charge. Next is for the emergency procedures. So emergency can consist of fire, explosion, and an incident. So the emergency plans consists of 5 things, which is first, compile a list of threats or situation. Then for each casualty or harm, describe the potential major consequences for the harm. And then we need to determine the countermeasures. And then inventory of the requisite tools for expected action also need to be carried out, such as medical supply, rescue equipment, or training personnel, for instance. Then lastly is based on this consideration, they need to define the required emergency policies and procedures. So this is the example of evacuation flow diagram during emergencies. Then next we move to part D, OSH management system. So my company First Solar main function is manufacturing and selling solar power modules. So First Solar in Kulim provide information and understanding about occupational safety and health to their employee, since the factory primarily function as manufacturing of solar modules. So with great leader, the company manage its business with integrity and honesty. So employees' responsibility and duty in occupational safety and health include compliance with OSH requirement. So the system shall contain these 5 elements, which is policy, organizing, planning and implementation, evaluation, and action for improvement. So this is the written statement by an employer at my company during internship. Then is health, safety and environment implementation program. So my company has their own ways to encourage and introduce implementation of HSE program. So they use their company bulletin board as medium, since it's easier to approach both top and management and workers. So for Solar also had campaigns of importance of health, safety and environment. Then they also have a flow chart, which is an outline of framework for improving quality and understanding vocabulary of any organization. So the quality management system aggregate all of the process, resource, assets, cultural values supporting the goal of customer satisfaction. And then for safety committee, this company safety committee is the safety officer, because the total staff and workers at my company is about 5,000. So it should have its own safety officer. So safety and health officer SHO general duties are to ensure compliance and promote safe work at the industry. So SHO regulatory responsibilities are also specifically prescribed in occupational safety and health regulation. So awareness and training program. Early briefing and training programs requirement for new workers to be introduced before entering the company. So first is fire evacuation, next is fire drill, third first aid training, fourth whistleblower or reward, and then lastly is report the incidents. So this is the example of personal protective equipment at my company and their details application. So that's all for my presentation of mini project MEM 603. Thank you to Dr. Fauzi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.